And welcome to another February 2024 reading. This is a reading for all Scorpio placements, or Scorpio identifying people, as I like to say. If you're just here for the title, then that's fine too. I'm not too strict with astrology. I'm more focusing on the card and using astrology more as a secondary tool because it's very connected to the tarot cards. So yeah, let's see what this month has in store for us. And it is a conversation about life circumstances, relationship dynamics that might be accurate for you. I am not predicting your future, so don't worry. We're just having a little conversation with the cards, and maybe we can find some inspiration, some insight, and some awareness, I want to say. Okay, Scorpio, let's see. The Hanged Man. Well. With the Hanged Man, we do have often a situation where we want to pay a little more attention to our spiritual practice, or really go further into a spiritual practice if that's something that's new to us. So yoga, meditation, all those nice things, you know, that are really helpful for gaining more understanding about a situation. The Hanged Man is hanging here in between those two trees, as you can say and see, and he is an energy where we really learn how to grow through hindering circumstances. So sometimes we are in a situation where we really cannot get out of it. That's the Hanged Man, and we are kind of forced to stay in that situation for a while. But what that situation can bring us is a huge chance to grow spiritually. So we grow stronger by having to endure. It sounds so dramatic, but we grow stronger by being in a situation that puts restrictions on us. And the Hanged Man here, as you can see, it's also a very athletic card. I mean, he's hanging here, that's why it's also a yoga card. And his foot and his leg, they are really getting stronger because he's also using his muscles, of course, to strengthen his body in this particular position. The position also asks us to change perspective. So I often say with the Hanged Man, it's fun to just do things where you really look different, where you really visually see things differently. Like, for example, stand on a table or lie on the floor and look up, or really make a handstand and see how you're experiencing and perceiving the world, because we do perceive the world differently when we take on different angles. So this is also about taking on these different angles, and therefore really having progress spiritually, seeing things differently, gaining more insight within ourselves. And I think it has a lot to do actually with neuroscience. When we just start doing things differently, there is these techniques, for example, that you start in the morning just brushing if you really want to change and if you feel like you're in a rut, then you can brush your teeth with the wrong hand, or you do the everyday chores not with your dominant hand but with the non-dominant hand. It could really help you get out of a rut where you feel like you're stuck. The Hanged Man is often not so much that we are so responsible for being stuck. At the same time, though, we have to think about how did we get in this situation, why are we in this situation. That's also the Hanged Man and what he's doing. This sometimes feels a little bit of a it feels like it's testing our patience, but once we're out of it, it's such a freeing thing, because we've learned so much and we grew so much. So this is a big chance to get stronger mentally and spiritually, and get aware. Like, literally, this is about awareness. Becoming aware, more aware of yourself and your circumstances. The Magician. This is interesting, because you're coming in with the Magician stepping into the Hanged Man. So maybe something you thought was easier to do, magician, or to start, maybe you're shown that there's restrictions. I feel like there's a new endeavor that we sometimes step into something new and then we feel like, oh, there's actually a lot of circumstances that are kind of binding. It could also be compromise, even though I have to say, with the Hanged Man in the Crowley deck, he's really saying there is no compromise. He's really talking about we need to learn that there is no such thing as compromise, because we really pick our circumstances. So it is, or sacrifice also. It might feel like sacrifice, but it's not, because otherwise you wouldn't have stepped into it, you know. It's like subconsciously there is no sacrifice. Maybe maybe our ego thinks there is something like a sacrifice. It seems like there is a step you are taking in a new direction, in a big new journey. This is both major arcana, so this is big. And it's just part of the journey to be restricted a little bit. You know, maybe you're taking a new job and we know, okay, the circumstances are this and that, and I have to work like this and that, and this is going to be not as free anymore as it was, but it will also help me grow. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Well, 8 of Cups in the reverse is a card for me when it's in the reverse where we are in a situation where we feel like there's still something to learn here. There's still something to gain, there's still something to learn. And with the Hanged Man, it very much would make sense in February that you're saying, okay, I'm not ready to move on just yet from a situation that I really want to start, even though there is a sense of there could be something better, but right now I'm just going to stick with this. And because I feel like there is a lot of growth for me here, and there's still something to gain emotionally. We're not ready to go to the next level. And it might also be something, or next level, it's not that this is a bad thing, you know, 8 of Cups is already 8 of Cups. But this is I want to say a station in your life where you know there's things that you need to do, even if they are restrictive in a sense, that you consciously choose to do because you think you can, and you know you can. With the Magician, we are in an energy where we are like, yes, I can do this. And as I said, with the Hanged Man and the 8 of Cups in the reverse, even it might feel a little bit like a sacrifice, but it's really not. I think it's really not. Strength card. No, there is a lot of passion here also for this. There's a lot of passion involved, and it seems like it's something you need to do. Interesting. Okay, let's look at relationships, a relationship dynamic. The Hanged Man. So this other person or another person or other people feel the same way. It's kind of like being bound. And those are kind of similar cards here. Maybe a person is binding you, which is obviously not the greatest thing. Or the circumstances of a person. You know, maybe a person has a hard time, is kind of like trapped in a situation, and that's kind of also making you trapped in a situation. So there is most definitely insight to be gained for you and the people around you that are the closest right now, or that are giving you the most, that you're most interacting with. How does also maybe relationship restrict us? How do we pick people who... And we do pick people, not consciously, but most of the time, unfortunately, subconsciously. That might... Maybe we have maybe pretty sure we have some unhealed stuff from childhood, or unhealed is such a weird word, some patterns that feel familiar, where we maybe go to are drawn to people who are kind of trapped in a situation because we want to help them. And that could be like a savior complex thing, you know, and you should be really, really careful about that, because it is giving an illusion of power, but then at the same time a lot of responsibility. Okay, that's just what I want to say here. 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, and I think you're really sick of taking on so much responsibility, or sick, tired of it. 10 of Wands in the reverse, where we really let maybe you are at the point in your life where you're like, I'm not going to be the savior for people anymore, or I'm not going to take on that burden. Even if I'm really drawn to it, but I'm not going to take on that burden because it's just too much, and this person needs to figure it out by themselves, you know. So I'm not going to carry that for that person. And this could be a friend also. This often happens in friendships, where people lean on us a little too much, especially when we don't have the resources. The Chariot. This is beautiful though. Even though there is no such thing as clarity here with how to get out of this entrapment, I want to say, with the Hanged Man twice, still there's a positive attitude towards just taking a step forward, moving a step forward, and staying balanced within. We have the Chariot here. So the Chariot is a lot of finding new land, going a step into a new journey, making that step into an unknown territory maybe, but still bringing movement into a situation. So there will be movement. I think it's still inside of a certain movement, not into completely new ground, but trying to step out of what felt safe in the past. That's also the Chariot. And there's a lot of intuitive sort of feel to it with the Chariot as well. He's really going a step and bringing the Chariot into movement, and then all of a sudden can go really fast, you know, but it's really bringing the whole thing into the carriage, into movement, and being courageous also, and being prepared. So it seems like with relationships, we're preparing ourselves here to take a step into the unknown, because we know we cannot find answers, find new perspectives, find peace also with the Two of Swords, by staying in this tied up situation here. So yeah. Okay, Scorpio. Very intriguing here with the Hanged Man 2 times. There is definitely some huge opportunity here to really grow spiritually together with a person. Even maybe you are sharing a similar story, and be careful of course with a trauma bond. Don't bond just with a person because they share the same sob story than you, because that's, you know, that can be eventually maybe also problematic. But in this case, there is a new journey on the horizon with the Chariot. So yeah. Alrighty, art oracles, artists and their quotes, Albrecht Dürer. And he says, one man's outbreak is another man's breakthrough. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Maybe there is a point where you are also like, I mean, with the 10 of Wands in the reverse in relationships, there's definitely a point where you're saying, enough, you know, I can't carry this. And then he's saying, how interesting, how much did I please talk about perspective? And he's saying, know your perspective. Yes, know your perspective and really gain that perspective. And I think you might even have or find that you might have a similar perspective with a person. And then we have apocalypse then. Well, I don't get it, to be honest. It's supposed to be funny, I know. But something about the apocalypse and leaving it behind. So, yeah, Scorpio, interesting reading. Thank you so much for being here. Please check out my description box and subscribe to this channel. Of course, please leave a like, a comment, and you can find everything you need to know about me as a person, as an individual, also besides tarot card readings, in the description box. And I hope that you'll come back next time, and I see you soon. And until then, bye.